There's more weather issues out there. Every county in Oklahoma is under a state of emergency because of flooding. Evacuations are in effect along the Arkansas River, with high water straining aging dams and levees.
The Arkansas River has reached its highest level in recorded history. That row of trees is typically where the riverbank is. Look at where the water is now.
We're standing on Highway 155 right now, just a few miles outside of Dardanelle, and you are witnessing this river rushing into this area. This levee has breached, the Hollow Bend levee. We've been reporting on this river here.
So we live in the Arkansas River Valley. And the Arkansas River from Oklahoma near Tulsa all the way through Arkansas is experiencing a record-breaking flood. It's worse than we've seen in recorded history. Today's Friday. The river's set to crest in a couple of days, but it's only going to rise a little bit more, so we're going to go ahead and get out there and see it. But before I show you guys any of that, here's what happened when we went out and looked on Monday at a pretty regular flood. People. I don't think the barricades are what's stopping you from going down there. Oh, look at this. That's neat. Yeah, lots of traffic moving around over here. So believe it or not,
it's going to be about 3 foot up on it.
there is a park down there under all that water. Now we're used to seeing flooding like this. This happens about this time of year every year. but this river still has a lot of rise left to go. This is about 35 foot deep, and we're expecting 44.5 feet. So where I'm standing right now will be underwater come the end of the week. So here it is again from the other side. This is the Dardanelle Lock and Dam. You're looking at the lock there. And again, we see this kind of flooding every year. You can see there that the lock approach is completely underwater. You can see the light poles sticking up out of the water there. The water is very rough. The dam is letting about 200,000 cubic feet a second of water through it from the lake, which is upstream, just the other side of the dam. You see the bridge and where we were recording the other part down there, Veterans Park in Dardanelle. Again, we're used to seeing this kind of flooding and all this debris and everything around the lock, but we still got about 10 foot of water level still to go. So where I'm standing right now will be underwater come Friday. As I said in that video, the river floods like that every single year. Rivers flood, we have an annual flood. The average depth of the Arkansas River, due to the McClellan Kerr navigation system, is about 9 feet. During the late spring and early summer months each year, the water level gets up between 35 and 40 feet, typically. Today, on Friday, it is at, what, 45.9 was the last reading we saw?
Correct.
And we're expected to crest at 46 feet. Now the previous record was at 44.1. Yeah, the previous record was at 44.1 feet. And like I said, right now we're at 45.9. Those numbers are a little old. Also, just some more numbers that we'll talk about when we're at the dam. The Dardanelle Lock and Dam generally has a average flow of around 175,000 cubic feet per second, and right now we're doing somewhere around 540,000 cubic feet a second. That's the last numbers that we saw from the Army Corps of Engineers who run the dam.
This will be the highest crest in our recorded history.
So that's what it looked like on Monday. We got out on the bikes again on Thursday to go have a look at it, and we discovered that it really wasn't even possible to navigate safely on motorcycles to go look at the flood at that point. There was water over highways, but we did get a little bit of video here and there of some of the flooding as it worsened on Thursday. So have a look at that.
We can't see from here. Hey, well, I was gonna holler at him, but here we got a green light. We're fucked.
Yeah, there ain't no water over this lane. What I was telling you. Well, are we gonna keep rolling or not?
A little bit.
Shutting off right at the time that I actually wanted.
I heard that.
Oh, there is water. We gotta turn around.
Yep. Well,
So now that you've seen what we saw leading up to the most catastrophic part of this flood, here's what we saw on Friday. So major sandbagging operations have been going on to keep the highway open, so we can get across, we can go see the same places that we saw on Monday. Now we have had a levee failure at this point here. The Dardanelle levee system just downstream from the dam has failed, so we won't be able to get anywhere near any of that. But I'm going to try to get some footage from the Yell County Sheriff's Office from their drone to show you guys what that looks like, and if I manage to get that footage, it'll be right here. So behind me is the Dardanelle Lock and Dam. As I said earlier, you generally get about 125 to 140,000 cubic feet a second, even during flood stages. This flood is upwards of 500,000 cubic feet a second. And the water has never in recorded history been this high. In the direction that the camera's currently facing, there's a park with full 10-foot basketball goals and a basketball court, and you cannot even see it. You can't even see the basketball goals anymore. The pavilion over there that I just showed you is almost covered up. There's a park down there, about probably 11 foot under the water. Baseball fields and everything. You can see the light sticking up out of the baseball field.